I'm streaming.
I'm streaming of a white Christmas. Okay.
Okay. Let's put this on, shall we?
I don't need this, I forgot.
Well, let's begin on page 128 with something. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. 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 שבת אחים גם יחד. Let's do one more thing. Can we do another one? Let's do Ki Yishmeirah, page 129. Ki Yishmeirah Shabbat, El Yishmereini. Ki Yishmeirah Shabbat, El Yishmereini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Ki yishmeirah Shabbat, El Yishmereini. Ki yishmeirah Shabbat, El Yishmereini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Oti le'omead beino uveini.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you. Thank you, Gordon. We've made it through another week of the pandemic. All we can do, I think, is just make one foot in front of the other and use common sense and be safe. And it always makes me happy to see those of you who are here and those of you who are still more comfortable at home. We're happy that you're with us. This is one of the darkest days of the year. When is the solstice? The 20th, correct? The winter solstice. So we are virtually at the darkest period of the year, but it always makes me feel illuminated and comforted and warmed when I get to see you here at CBS. So Shabbat Shalom. We are going to begin our service with the lighting of our Shabbat candles, and I would like to invite Carla and Sue to come up to the bima to do that for us, and you can follow the blessing on page 120 in your prayer books.
Either side. Oh yeah, I'm gonna
longer tonight. It makes it easier to light.
We hope so, anyhow. I almost pre-lit them because you never know.
You never know.
Looks good. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
I'd like to read it in English,
ahead.
if that's okay. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Let's continue with Yedid Nefesh on page 128. We haven't done this one for a while. One of the things I like about this particular prayer, and I think you know that a lot of the prayers that we choose from on Kabbalat Shabbat were composed about 4 centuries ago by Kabbalists living in Tzfat, none of whom were over the age of 40. It was this young group of mystics who really revitalized Jewish liturgy. This one is interesting, not only, as I've said before, in the way that it alludes to God as being a friend. Yedid means friend, as opposed to some transcendent being, but also by virtue of the fact that none of the names for God even appear in this prayer. The word Adonai doesn't appear, the word Elohim doesn't appear, references to king or sovereign don't appear. So it's really a poem, and the reference to God is really much more allegorical than direct. And in that way, it's sort of unique among some of the Shabbat prayers that we sing on Friday night. So page 128, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid nefesh Rachaman, Yedid nefesh Rachaman, Meshuchavdecha El Ritzonecha, Meshuchavdecha Ya la 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 El Ritzonecha Yarut Avdecha Kemo Ayam Yishtachav Elai Lai 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 El Muhadrecha Yarut Avdecha Kemo Ayam Yishtachav Elai Lai Lai La 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 Emul Hadarecha Yedid nefesh av harachaman Yedid nefesh av harachaman Meshuchavdecha El Ritzonecha Meshuchavdecha La 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 El Ritzonecha.
We continue on page 146 with a call to worship. The Baruch Hu, if you're able, please rise.
We're gonna do this other version. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. La 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 la, 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 la 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 la.
Page 149. And let's read this English translation of Ma'ariv Aravim together in English. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Mahuto Leolam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anuchi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein einecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kiroshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiod lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Please join me on page 157 and let's read the English together at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. And we continue with Micha Mocha on page 158.
Yam bam bam bim bim bye, yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bye, yabba bye bye bim bam. Ya la 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 la, yabba bye bye bim bam. Ya la 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 la, yabba bye bye bim bam. Mihi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mihi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. Mahal echutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Yam bam bam bim bim bye, yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bye, yabba bye bye bim bam. Ya la 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 la, yabba bye bye bim bam. Ya la 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 la, yabba bye bye bim bam.
Page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our sukkah, our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen, 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 amen.
Please take a moment now for your own silent thoughts and prayers.
Page 180. We're going to try just the first 3 lines. A lot of words, but there's something very hypnotic about it. You can just hum along if you can't do the words. Elohai nitzor lishoni mera usvatai medaber mirma v'lim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai 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 nitzor lishoni mera usvatai medaber mirma V'lim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai Elohai. Now we go up a third. Elohai nitzor leshoni mera usfatai medaber mirma v'lim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai Elohai. We go up again. Elohai nitzor leshoni mera usfatai medaber mirma v'lim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai Elohai Elohai.
At this point in our service, we think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following members of our congregation, as well as those known and loved by those in our CBS family. Harris Nussbaum, Lynn Mikulski, Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Ginny Sims, Eileen Conklin, Nancy Jeanette, Michelle Camisia, Joshua Hyman, Dylan Bonnick, Diane Butler, Elsa Loach, Tony Wine, Elena Goldman, Mark Charney, Ralph Garber, Maggie Sherman, Colleen James, Michael Edwards, and Jesse Friedman. And if anyone has a name they wish to share, please do so. The Mishaberach prayer is on page 511.
We're also just going to do this other melody, and it's just the first 3 lines. We'll learn the rest later. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mishaberach Be'imotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos again. Again, it's great to see you all tonight. The Torah portion for this Shabbat is called Vayechi. It's the very last Torah portion in the book of Genesis, chapters 47 through 50, if you'd like to know. And for rabbis, this Torah portion is always a little bit bittersweet because it means we have ended the book of Genesis with all of those rich and well-known stories: the Garden of Eden, the serpent, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Noah and the flood, the Tower of Babel. And all of that, those interesting stories that have had such an impact on Western civilization and Western literature, now we have to focus on other stories that are not as easy to talk about. But at the end of this Torah portion, we read of the death of Jacob and also of the death of his son Joseph. Both of their deaths occur in the land of Egypt, interestingly, not in the land of Canaan. And these chapters bring to a close the age of the patriarchs and the matriarchs from the book of Genesis. The formative period in the history of ancient Israel has now come to an end. No more Abraham and Sarah, no more Jacob and Rebekah, no more Isaac and Rachel and Leah. And in the book of Exodus, which will begin next week, next Shabbat, the focus shifts from the lives of individual characters and families now to our physical plant and our campus. In some ways, our experience with COVID has been like the period of bondage in Egypt that we're going to begin reading about next week. But may we, like Jacob and Joseph, who die in this Shabbat's Torah portion, may we, like them and like our ancestors, emerge from this dark chapter better and bolder than ever before. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. We are going to continue our service with the Aleinu on page 586. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה לארצי בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר V'haya Adonai l'melech kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo, echad.
Please be seated. I have the honor now of calling up board member and all-around mensch, Bradley Wasserman, to read the announcements for tonight. Bradley is part of the CBS Chicago Mafia, along with Carolyn and me and a number of other people who've made their way here from the Windy City. Although I don't think I see anyone else here tonight from Chicago. Bradley?
You know, the first rule of the Chicago Mafia is we don't talk about the Mafia. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Gordon. On behalf of the board, thanks to everyone for being here or there. I don't know where the camera is. Just a couple quick announcements. We have the Soul Sisters Book Club meeting December 20th at 4 p.m. It's going to be a Zoom session hosted by Sabina Stoltz. The book is Red Sea Spies by Rafi Berg, the true story of Mossad's fake diving resort and the airlift of thousands of Ethiopian Jews. Next week on the 24th, Kabbalat Shabbat service will be led by Nadia Schmier and Gordon Lustig. Schmader.
Esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh hashamayim va'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim va'aretz. Esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim va'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim va'aretz. Esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa einai sorry. I forgot where I go. We gotta do the last part again because I skipped first. Esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. They'll edit that in the
Right.
yeah, on the.
Okay, so we're going to turn now to the Kiddush Motzi. So everyone here, if you would please rise if you can. Those at home, go ahead and pour your wine, bring out your challah. If Betty and Bunny Goldstein are with us, I know they've been drinking wine probably since 6 o'clock. But everyone feel free to join us in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen l'chaim.
L'chaim. Was that a nod to Fiddler on the Roof, I think, right? L'chaim?
It was, yeah, kind of a warped version of it, but yeah.
And please join us in the Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Bradley.